back. We back once again. Once again, y'all. We're back with the good old Man in the Mirror show. And we call it the THEE because it's a personal journey. I'm Boo Jones, founder of the Man in the Mirror. My co-host couldn't make it. They're going through some things, but they'll be back very soon. But the show goes on. That's what we do here, Man in the Mirror. We keep thriving. We keep pushing forward. Tonight's guests are on their way. They're coming into the studio soon. But, they're here. They're here. Yeah, start on time. The Queen's chair. So they're in the studio. They're in the studio. Before I even get to the title, I'm gonna introduce this distinguished guest. I want to make sure it's Ahura. Haru. Okay, so we know this is Miss Haru. She's ladies first, and she's a dynamite entertainer. Yeah, she's a dynamite manager, and by what I hear from my good friend, just a dynamite person all around.
Oh, thank
so,
you.
Miss Haru, welcome to Man in the Mirror show.
Miss Adrian Berkeley.
It's Dre, band names for
Okay, tell the people the
whole thing. The whole
cluster.
kit.
Yeah.
All right, so my name is Adrian, but everybody calls me Dre, and I am the manager and lead singer and producer and songwriter.
Oh, we're going to get into all that. You can put these on, guys, if you want to hear everything. And without further ado, my buddy, man, I don't even know. We've been going back with this go-go thing for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I always admire him as an entertainer, but I admire you more as a man. And
appreciate it.
Yeah, so I it's very rare to get genuine people like yourself.
Appreciate that.
So, without further ado, I give you Mr. Ulatoni. Now you can get your proper name if you want to.
That's good. I've been living with that since 1981.
Yeah.
81 when I spent that time with EU.
Yeah. So
that's
that's some history right there.
Yeah.
And we might have to get a little songstress before we leave. But So what we're talking about today, y'all, this is a topic that's far overdue, you know. And for people like myself and people who have tread the waters that we tread, right? It's the difference between being in a band and leading the band and managing the band. It's a whole different animal.
Yes, it is.
It's the difference between a zebra and a horse. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And people think it's easy, and they think that a lot of times it's the leadership, but in every genre or any kind of environment, it's a culture.
Right.
It's a culture developed. Like I work in the recovery field, and it's a culture at different places. And when the clients come to different places, they act a fool at certain places they don't, because the place has a culture. And whoever goes there usually tap into the culture, start acting the way the culture is. And we know that in go-go, it's a culture.
Right.
And music itself, because we wouldn't have need for unsung. and I do research. So you look at unsung, and by me being a leader and owner of a band, everything they went through, I've done been through.
Right.
It don't matter what the genre of music is.
Right, and that's true. So true.
But we talking about DMV music right now, our own thing. And we talking about go-go music and leadership and longevity. That's the title. So we're going to dive into all of it.
Okay.
And you feel Whatever you feel like saying, you can say. Whatever you don't want to say, you don't have to say. It's,
Yeah, it's all good.
That's all. You know,
Yeah.
open. It's open. It's open air for you to express yourself the way you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get this thing started. First of all, we want to get a little, give us a little bit about yourself and everything, and then we'll start getting on certain topics of the leadership and the longevity. But, you know, introduce yourself to the, other than your name, to the audience.
Of course, ladies first.
Of course. All right, so again, I'm Dre, and I started this long time ago. I was a kid, actually, singing for family, and I'm talking like the age of 5. So that's far back as I can remember. But I always had an interest in it. My dad was in a gospel group, and I used to go to rehearsals with him, and I just got this fixation on, you know, that type of, that the harmony mostly, because it was so tight, and there was only 4 of them, you know. And anyway, so I dabbled in it a little bit, but it wasn't my sole focus as a kid. I did other things, you know, that kids do, like majorettes, I did that, brownies, did that, drill team in high school. But it was right after high school, I became interested again, like wholeheartedly, and found out that they were having open mic night at Quonset. I know everybody remember
Yeah,
Quonset.
of course. So that's, and for the crowd. See, this audience is worldwide.
Okay.
So we talking about Washington D.C. stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
DMV stuff.
Right,
So
right.
y'all gotta understand when she say the stuff we already understand. I know y'all don't know what it is, some of y'all, but the concept was a club
Right.
Yeah.
in Washington D.C.
That later became the Legends that now doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. But anyway, so I did an open mic night and was pretty good at it. Got, you know, nice tips and all that from it. But won't go into detail. I decided I didn't want to sing anymore. I wanted to be involved with behind the scenes. I wanted to learn more about the marketing side. I wanted to learn more about the management side. So that's what I did. I stopped singing, had my babies, and was in school. And when I just about as I finished school, I started. I interned with Juju House.
It's a drummer for Experience Unlimited,
Mm-hmm.
also known as EU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, I interned with him, managing his studio, and it was exactly what I was looking for. But then after 10 years of that, I, you know, like with anything, you want to do something else. And hence I met Mr. Uli Tony, and opportunity came to manage his new and upcoming band. I took the job. I actually started promoting first. That's what he actually hired me to do, promote the band. And from there, himself and the other founder, Alan, rest in peace, decided they wanted the manager for the band, so I took the position. Then they found out I could sing. They found out I could sing. I just wanted to fill in the background vocals, you know.
Right.
It took off from there, so that's how I got back into that side of it. And been going strong, 9 years now? Yeah.
So now that's what we here for,
Mhm.
because someone might listen to that and say, "Oh, 9 years, man, 9 years is incredible."
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. 4 years, 3 years is awesome
Mm-hmm.
in this genre.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
especially with you talking about getting some notoriety.
Right.
9 years, and you done get some notoriety.
Right.
that's awesome.
It
Because
is.
sometimes it takes at least 5 to 7 years to be solid,
It does.
you know. And you guys,
A lot of ups and downs.
oh yeah,
Took about 6 of them years for
right.
somebody to even know who you was.
That's what I said.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
But you have to persevere. You
And,
can't
and,
quit.
and people, you need to know this. This guy already had a staple in the genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it still took 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you tell me this is not an uphill battle.
It becomes a journey. You have to really have some real tenacity to get through it all, because you're not only dealing with the business, you're dealing with the people in the business, or the people that are around the business,
Yes.
or people that stumbled over the business. or
People in general.
Yeah, and people in general, and people who ain't got no business. So it becomes that kind of thing, but you still have to go through it. It's part of that life, and all of those learning curves that you pick up coming through this thing, because you're going to learn a lot of different things. The years spent, as just a musician was way different than spending the years as a leader of
Oh,
band,
yeah.
and then being a part of management and being
And in the band at the same time.
and build and see, and you're getting the opportunity to actually build something, and you start seeing you get those flickers of real success and things happening, which instills the energy and the hope to keep going.
But you done had some times where in those early years, or the mid years, or the time before 6 years came,
Yeah.
you was wondering, is it worth keep going on? Yeah,
Well,
you been there before?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but when when you're about in that, because you come in with a certain energy, and that energy, depending on how deep down it is, it has that longevity in it from the start. You don't even know it, but you keep going. By the time you look up, after pushing and jumping this hurdle and that hurdle, and you realize, man, it's been 3, 4, 5, and people coming in the door, out the door, in the door, out the door.
Let me ask you, it's 9 years. When did you come in?
About 2 months after
After you had
started.
2 months?
Yeah, after the first recording, because the whole mission was was just a project. It really was just a project, a recording. But because she believed that we had really had something that had some legs on it, I kept it going. It was the idea was to come in and record, drop something, and go sit down somewhere. But not just her. I mean, the other musicians and some other people came in with the energy to actually want to keep it going. But the foresight she had was like way out there, and we clicked. We saw the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the same things.
Right.
We saw, the whole thing was to get to when you have the mindset of getting to the big stage, then you don't mind going to the little, and build it, because you know what your focus is. The focus, it's nobody. I ain't never seen any baby get up and running.
No.
They got to crawl, and then they You gotta walk.
And
It
that's
Yeah.
that process is normally nothing is absolute but God, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But that process is a process of anything that you're learning to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though you know the music, now it's the business.
Yeah.
That's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And
It
thank
is a
God
business.
Thank God I had
Totally
her because
a
I
business.
didn't, I didn't, I knew of the business and I watched the falls and the successes of it being right in there, watching it go up and go down and go big, travel long. But I saw all of that, was a part of all that, but she knew the steps that you need to take to get there, and she put a lot of things in place that we would knew we was going to run into to get there. But that all that's on paper. When even after that, or with that, you still have to deal with people.
And that's the, I guess that's the spoke for the wheel,
Mm-hmm.
is the dealing with the people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we having this conversation, really,
Mhm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's something, if you never did it, you don't understand. Now, in theory, a lot of people have. I sat back and I heard people in theory, oh, it's a leadership, it's a leadership, it's a leadership, and all the time, it's that in theory that's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a culture in a genre, man, it's more cancer. Let me just keep it real. It's more cancer than it is bad leaders.
You said a mouthful right
It's
there.
more cancer than it is bad leaders. You can't lead nobody that don't want to be led.
Mm-mm. Mm. And even if the leader wasn't all that good, he ain't gonna get no better with the cancer.
No,
in it.
no.
He ain't. It just ain't gonna happen. It gets more. It just either it's gonna get worse or it's gonna sit there and ferment.
I mean, and this is in any arena. So we talking about anything in life, any kind of business or any kind of organization, any kind of group, right?
Mm-hmm.
This happens. I always look at what my man used to talk about. One of my buddies at my job used to talk about Brutus and Julius Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
And Julius Caesar was one of the most famous Caesars of all of them. And then Brutus was his best friend. You know who killed him, right? It was a knife in his back.
Mm-hmm.
And when he turned around, he said, "Not you too, Brutus."
Yeah.
Because he knew he had a lot of enemies, right? But he didn't think Brutus was one of them.
Mm.
And that's how this business is. You can treat, listen, man, I done had people live with me. People in the band, they fell on little hard times. I done had them live with me. Rent free.
Okay.
With me and my wife, a female singer and a drummer. Both of them end up going mutiny with one of them, mutiny with another person that was in the band, and the other one just said, yeah. So I done been through it, So in some cases, it may be the leadership. People don't want to pay people and all that. That ain't been the case with most people I know, because birds of a feather flock together. Most people I done talked to, like, this good gentleman here, if he said he gonna pay somebody, he paid him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Win, lose, or draw. I say I'm gonna pay you, I pay you.
You have to come into this business with the mindset of just what you said, win, lose, or draw. But you have to be ready. You have to get ready, make ready, and be ready for all that to happen. Because, when you're on the losing end, you still got to be ready to handle that. And then but even if it's this what we're talking about right now is so much too. It's bigger
That's what I said,
than
yeah.
I don't know if you can fit it all
Now
one
you had to do a
concept.
series on this
Yeah, you cannot be,
because everybody got their own,
yeah,
yeah, the lens or the projection how they see it, right?
we have different because like okay, say that her and I, we have two different management styles, but we 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 devise a way to pull those two together and make them work. It's like any other business. You're gonna have a stern, and you're gonna have the people, the one who actually uh, takes care of.
Caretaker.
Yeah, yeah. And and you're gonna have to go hard, push forward, get it done. Handle that. That thing that other one might not be really.
Yeah, it's just like a basketball team. Somebody, your skill set is this,
It's
and
different.
the other one is
Yeah.
that. But we got the same goal.
Yeah,
We want to win.
yeah, we win. Okay, so I mean, we come from because, for one thing, I'm coming from the old school. I'm coming from the old school, and I know what I saw, and I know what I've been a part of, and I know what I saw work. She's coming from a new earth school, and she knows what's working now, and what could work now. But even with knowing that, you still got to deal with the people.
And like if you're not there, you don't understand the whole dynamic of it. You don't know. You get disgruntled, client. You get disgruntled client with any kind of job. The boss could be. You got a call? Okay, we got calls coming in too, guys. So
Okay.
the people want to
And
drop.
as a matter of fact, we have a young lady here. You okay?
I'm
You-
good.
Okay.
She-
Well,
yeah, she-
yeah. Come on in. Come on in.
At
see
any
you.
time,
Yeah. Come on in. I know you. It's
So let's from your own point of view and out of your own, voice. When you came into the business, you already had some experience, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your vision?
Big stage.
Yeah,
Period. That's what I saw. That's what I heard on that recording. I saw the potential. And at the time, the musicianship, I saw that it could go there. But as he said, it's just a lot of turnover.
oh yeah. See that now? That's a whole, like he said. We may not can get all this in on
I know.
one show
Yeah.
because the turnover. Like I was gonna ask that question, but I was gonna try to save it. Like because I was gonna ask how many people stayed from the beginning to 9 years.
I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I already knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And I'm sitting here. I've been doing slave rhythm for 14 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
I done took like maybe a couple weeks to get, to retool a couple people. But 14 years straight, right? And I just took a break early this year,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the only one that's been consistent from day one.
Yeah, I know you got somebody that you.
No, some
you
people
haven't
did
bounced.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had some people did 3 years. That was the longest.
Mm-hmm.
3 to close to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody did from the beginning to now.
I guess it's the same for us too. We had some that were there.
So
for
y'all beat me. In
I
that.
would think. I think the bass player would probably be runner up. That's Preach.
Yeah. And
He's been with us for quite some time.
and and because him and I had long history before that, and he's from the old school. It's a different thing.
Well, this word we haven't said it, and we know we like to say we like to address the elephant in the room on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Is integrity.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
The word is integrity. If you say something, do it. Like today, see, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we was gonna have another guest. Something came up, but in this business, something always coming up.
Yeah.
So I know you know what I'm talking about. I have been in rehearsals, and I'm a communicator. I would text you over and over and say, if anything, let me know. So some people might call it a pest, but I make sure you're well informed. You can't say, see, my philosophy is this: you won't never say that you didn't know.
I feel the same. In fact, I adopted the whole texting versus calling to prove
Yeah,
that I told you
more than once.
more than once.
So, and even a reminder on the day of, like I did with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it never fails. The day of rehearsal, some people have the at least the respect to text. Some don't text and don't show up.
Those are the ones in my mind. The ones that text or that let you know ahead of time or where those are the ones that are about the business. The ones that the last minute or don't.
No, this last minute. I ain't talking about
last minute.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that they text me a day or something before.
In my mind, they ain't tend to be there in the first place.
Yeah, it's a lot of last minute, man.
Yeah, they didn't tend to be there. They had to go back and forth with themselves and and all of the, whatever. And
I tell the person this. A lot of people know me and know my story. In 2014, my oldest child died.
Oh, sorry.
And I got the information while I was getting ready to go to rehearsal. But I wasn't driving, so the Congo player, he came from Moe County. I was living over there by Redskins Stadium, right? Morgan Boulevard, right? And he came and he was taking me to practice when we was going somewhere past Fort Washington. We was going way out there to the rehearsal spot, right? And when I got the news, he was out front, right? Now, yeah, I'm just me. It's just me. I ain't perfect or nothing, but this is just how I'm wired. I thought about them because that could have been me. I could have drove all the way down here. You know what I'm saying? So I said, and I'm the one paying for the rehearsal. You're talking about leadership. I pay for the rehearsals. I don't majority of the time never ask nobody for nothing.
Yeah.
I pay for the rehearsals.
Same here.
So I went out there and paid for the rehearsal, but I was so tore up, I had my sister come and pick me up from the rehearsal. And I tell people, give me a better reason than that one, that you can't show up. Give me a better one. Then you just lost your firstborn child. And I haven't found nobody, and what happens is they don't consider you. It's a lot of times, man, that I had to pay for rehearsal because nobody showed up.
In there.
Because if I'm written and got a guy slack, I got to pay him.
That's right. You committed.
It's called integrity.
You committed to that.
Yeah. I'm going to say, they didn't show up, so I can't pay.
No, those guys make their money off of commitment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I tell that guy to hold his slack for me, and the people I ever deal with, they can tell you that. That I'm going to pay you. You ain't got to talk about, man, can I give you half? Because I give them the whole thing. But they hold the slack for me, and that's what's missing in all music, for real.
Well,
it's integrity, even from the leadership, because sometimes, I ain't saying it's all the members, it's leadership too.
Yeah, but it's there are areas or outside of DC, the DMV that really handle the business of music like business, real business, and I've seen it. As a matter of fact, Miss Dre handled the business so much like business that the people that were coming to work with us
Couldn't
felt
deal
like,
with it. He couldn't deal with
they
it.
felt like she was running the government. So like government, she was just business.
Yeah.
Business, you
They
gotta
say
handle it.
corporate. It's so corporate.
Yeah, yeah.
I
they
like
was-
that.
Yes, they was. That's and basically she's just doing what she's supposed to do inside of.
Well, I know this for a fact. Darkness and light can't have the same place. They certain people are not going to be around you long because the way your principles and morals are.
Mhm.
Certain people ain't gonna be around you long. That's just the way life is. They're gonna feel some kind of threatening because of the way you are, and not look at your heart and the type of person you are, and you got some integrity.
They never see that because, for one thing, there is, and this has been bottled up, because, and I don't know, a lot of people that are coming into, well, at least in this area that I know that comes, they'll join your band and they always have a hidden agenda.
And talk about that.
And when I say, and I'm gonna be clear about that, when they come in, they've already made up their mind how they gonna come in and change things.
Infiltrate.
And they're gonna
And
make this go this way,
and this is falling right into what we said from the beginning. There's a culture in this arena. It's a culture. And if you don't, you guys know it. If you've never been in leadership, you don't know it. You can think that you know it, but if you ain't put no time in that struggle y'all guys talking about, and them hurdles you was talking about, you know what I'm saying, and digging and getting those rocks and and all that, and the metal and all that stuff, but still got to dig.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you don't know anything about that, you can speculate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see, when you talk about the thing as a whole, you have the ones who have or having success right now, and then you having, people like us who have to take a pause, take a step back, and say, do we want to keep, and figure this, either try to figure it out or let it go, and that's where you be at. Now the music itself does wonderful things, do great things,
And we never, and let's get that, I'm glad you said that though, Tony, because let's get that clear. We're not talking about anyone's talent, because we got the most talented people in the world in this go-go genre.
Mm.
I mean, most of these guys are awesome. Their talent is out of this world. But if your life ain't in order, if you ain't in order as a person, that's what usually gets in the way.
I mean,
Can I say something?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
yeah.
So I see some of it as a hobby for some. So yes, the talent is there, but and it kind of mirrors what you're saying about having your life in order. Sometimes they don't really want the level that we're trying to take it to. It's just a bill to pay. It's money to make some money to pay a bill, and that's it. And so,
Or to feed that thing.
yeah,
You
some
know
of
what?
that too.
Now, y'all may not know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna clarify what I say to feed that thing. I'm talking about that low self-esteem,
Mm.
that low self-worth, that inadequacy. Yeah, so
I don't see that. I see more of it because, for one, we're pretty picky about who we hire.
you guys,
You try to be.
Well, yeah, because you take some time and you monitor. I do. I monitor their behavior for a while before I even offer the position. There are times though where we kind of push back in the corner and we have to select someone that we haven't actually witnessed. Yeah. But overall, I see them. I just see a couple of sides. I see the side where it's a hobby, and then I see the side where there's a thirst for it.
Well, it still goes back,
But they want overnight success.
and that's not it.
They want overnight success, and they don't have patience. And sometimes they end up jumping off and going with someone that already, built their first floor or second floor. Or their floor,
Right.
that's what they want to get with. So,
Okay.
The money don't change. It's just that
right.
because they
Right.
in this area, a good vast of the musicians that's coming in with that great talent, they want microwave success.
And even the microwave take time.
You know, they just like gangs and fighters or whatever. It's more about the extrinsic motivation, which is it's not all they want to do is make that name so they can get the ooey buttons and
That's what I was talking about.
yeah, the ooey buttons and everybody know the name and call it and if that ain't happening instantaneously, because she would always explain to people coming through the door, we're building something. Because you have to, the people that you work with have to understand what they coming into. At least being fair, you tell them that.
But I think that's a whole nother issue too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I'm a communicator. So I tell them exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, like you said, if it ain't happening quick enough, then what they want, their agenda ain't happening quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you doing everything you said you was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you never told them.
Or we just kind of experience where they agree to be a part of your organization, I'll say, with their own agenda. Never read the bio. Don't know what you're doing, where you're going, what they didn't pay attention to that. And then they start to get antsy and upset because you're doing something they didn't want to do. Why? Because they didn't read the bio. They have no idea what they signed up for. Yeah.
And you said that we're building.
Mm-hmm.
But you're the architect of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So if you coming in, you say, okay, whatever you leading, how you leading, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I sketch it out. I mean, if you go to the page, the bio's right there. If I'm going to sign up to be with anything, whether government job, private job, whatever kind of job, I'm going to read
what it's
about before I say yes.
Okay. All right. So we getting in the next. And listen, this is only our experience. So we're not telling you this is a fact for everybody, but this is a fact for us. This is our experience. So we talking about our experience here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know some other people that feel the same way, who have been in leadership, right? This ain't a one conversation we just have here on Man in the Mirror.
Yeah,
and we know countless people in this genre that feel the same way.
And took off and never turned and not looking back. I said, I'm out of here.
Right.
Yep. As it,
I admit, I like the journey though. I've learned so much. I mean,
oh yeah.
Even as a person that was educated, to be quite honest, the experience to me kind of overshadows the education because it can't teach you that. You have to have that experience.
It makes you a stronger person too in a lot of areas in your life. And I always would tell, close people to myself that, man, I'm getting more out of it than they think. And I'm not talking about monetary.
Right.
It's,
Right.
I ain't getting nothing monetary. Like
Right.
people say, why would you do it if it ain't making money and they ain't doing this and ain't? You don't understand the
Right.
spiritual ramifications of it.
Right.
I'm being able to be built up and endure some things that you probably don't understand. So I understand what you was coming from with that. And that's another part of it. When you doing it and you start getting that insight that you was talking about. Yeah, that's deep.
I wouldn't trade it though. I love it. It's always more to learn. I mean, from just rehearsals, the gigs, the places that you're gonna gig at, people you're gonna deal with at the gigs. From the venue owners to promoters to sound people. There's a lot of components with
Right.
with this. As management or leadership, there's so much to know. It's like a checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah. The networking becomes.
Yeah.
We had a situation where we almost wasn't able to perform at an event because the person that was responsible for it did not communicate
Right.
with either one of us that they did not have a back line. That's
Been there.
essential amongst other things.
And see, but when you get those type of experiences, that's when communication is very, very important. And you can still have, listen, I done had it. I hired a guy. We made a verbal commitment. And when I get to the show, he sends somebody else with their equipment. And told me that he was going to, part of the deal that he was going to give me a CD and run the board for me. None of that was done.
Well, we have horror stories.
So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff you're going to deal with. But, one thing that's helped me in the journey is I stopped expecting people to be me.
Well, that's number one.
Yeah, I stopped expecting them to be me. So, it don't, like, stuff like this that we're talking about does not surprise me anymore.
That's number one, but you still need that checklist.
Yeah.
I have to have a checklist because there's so many things that you gotta make sure are in place prior to a gig, anything, rehearsal gig or recordings, videos, all that stuff.
Well, that's something that I like you say, I would text the whole contract to a person. So, and they still violate the contract. Because once you, see, this is the thing. Once you at the show, either you're going to back out the whole show or you're going to perform, you got your people there, you know what I'm saying? You got people who committed to come out and support you.
Once you get there, it's about the supporters.
Yeah.
I don't call them fans. I call them family. It's about it becomes about them.
Yeah.
And some of the promoters count on that. They'll let you down. They don't because they know that you're committed to performing for your people, and that they don't mind letting you down. See, I come from the old school when usually when you let people down like they do today, you might get hurt.
Yeah.
But it's different.
There's no consequences like it used to be when we was coming up.
But it's different now because people like us who actually we have to bite the bullet, take the chunk, and the best thing you could do is not mess with them no more.
Yeah, that's all you.
That's it.
But it's sad, like you said. There used to be consequences for disrespect.
Yeah.
And, and nowadays, if you go that route, either you're going to jail, or they gonna have to get a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna have to get a weapon. Then you
Yeah.
either you gonna die or you go to jail.
It turns. It goes from music to gangster.
So at one time you just get whooped,
Yeah.
and the dude understand either he fight you again or he leave it alone. Bill paid.
Yeah.
See, he understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once you get the whooping, your bill is paid. Yeah, but it's sad because there's no consequential thinking pattern in the genre, and in life, that's what we talked about when your life is out of order. Because if you don't think about if you don't have consequential thinking, then you just say I'll cross that bridge when I get there type of lifestyle. You know, and that's a chaotic lifestyle. You know,
So
There could be some consequences. I just don't think they see that far.
exactly. That's what I said. That's what I mean by consequential thinking.
Yeah.
See, my lifestyle is like this. If I do that, this is possible the outcome.
Right.
I'm not gonna
Right.
do, but don't get me wrong. It took me a while to start getting consequences. Like, so some people eventually gonna get it, and some will never get it. That's the truth. So, we come up in an era where we it was like a cartoon. Where nobody died. It wasn't. It was. I don't know. Can you remember when you was a teenager, somebody killed somebody else?
No. If
I can't think.
yeah, if that happened, it was somewhat of a circumstantial thing or something that was just over the top.
Yeah, but that was over the top. It was in a norm. Yeah.
Norm.
Yes.
And because I mean, going back again, when I want to talk a little bit about the, because we can talk about the struggles of it and all, but then there has been some success of bands in situations that really went well, but what has happened, you say, okay, I go way back to where Junkyard was being built, when they were playing on kazoos and buckets, and the reason why the greatest success came from it because they bought into the vision.
Yeah.
They saw
like
them. They saw themselves. The guy, either Mo or Derek, it was both of them. They saw themselves being bigger than what they were at that time.
Yeah.
They saw themselves actually coming from, and I seen this visually, from actually playing the bucket to a real drum set. They saw themselves.
I seen up close the transformation for those guys, right? We played with them 1986. I played with a band out Alexandria called that I renamed. It was Young Funk, and I renamed it to Ace Deuce because I was saying, man, we getting older. We can't be young,
Okay.
So we played with Junkyard at Evans Grill, and they had half real equipment and some steel buckets.
Yeah, when you said 86,
So I seen the transformation up close. So these guys was real musicians because they had real equipment too now, mixed in with some of the buckets. So it wasn't just a novelty. These guys can really play. And then next thing I know, they had all real equipment.
Yeah, because they was trying to establish, and they had goals. The whole band bought into, and they stuck to it, because and I could say that with all honesty because at least 3 of them that I remember off the top of my head are still in that band from when they was kids, little kids, with these little teeny voices, from Bugs to Winko to I forgot the other little guy's name. When I seen them, I was like, wow, these guys are later on, I seen them 20 years later, and I was like, these guys still here. And
More than 20, double that.
yeah, but it was about 20 when I seen. By the time I seen them again,
This
but
was 86, and they was out for a while before when we
Yeah.
played with them.
yeah. So that I'm just saying all that to say is that I don't see that today to this day. Like,
See, I remember this too.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
There is none.
So I remember this too. The same band, Ace Deuce. I remember that we used to practice at the manager house because I went and got a guy, the manager just called Mr. Yao, rest in peace. Yao lived the next street over in our neighborhood, right? It's called Del Rey out there. And we would be in front of Yao's house at least an hour or two before practice. Every time we had no cell phones. Nobody called. We just said from the last practice, meet y'all back here next time. And people would be out there. Everybody would be there. I don't remember a time nobody came to practice.
Yeah.
How old were you?
We was about from 16 to 19.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. I know of someone, and I'm not going to say who because I don't want to reveal, what they're working on. But I know of someone that's so frustrated trying to build a band right now and has had success in the past. But the thing
It's a
is,
different time.
not just that, age.
Okay.
Age. When you're young, you thirsty,
Nobody cares.
you probably don't have as many responsibilities.
I didn't even know. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even know you got paid playing.
Exactly.
I didn't even know
Exactly.
back then. I didn't even know we supposed to get paid.
But when you're dealing with, it depends on your target, but your the type of music and all of that. When you're dealing with older people, it changes everything. The thirst isn't there. They got responsibilities.
Right.
Even the management
Right.
has responsibilities.
Everybody got responsibilities.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So it changes.
grown
It
folks
changes
side.
it, and so you gotta have to absorb some of that, while you're conducting your business. You gotta be fair with your
Mhm.
thoughts, your assessment. It's frustrating, but
I guess that's a learning curve and a growing pains.
oh yeah,
You know.
and because you're not going to hire a bunch of young people if your music and your target audience are all older people. So it's like bitter with the sweet. If you kind of have to take, that these people have responsibilities. You can't rehearse as much as you could as as a child or
Right.
a teenager.
With no responsibility. That's
Yeah.
a great point
Yeah.
that she brought up, because we gotta know the signs of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta know exactly what it is. Yeah, so that's a great point. And
But is it a sign of the time, really?
it's
Or is
changing.
it just the fact that, then the demand is different? I don't even know if the younger people like.
Go like back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant by when I say signs of the time.
True.
This is what it is right now.
It's true.
But man, we hopefully some guys calling in, but that's how it is with the business.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's just like what we doing here today. We chopping it up, and we're talking about different variables
Mm-hmm.
of this leadership part. And to have longevity, man, we talking about the things it's gonna take. You talking about 9 years? Even though I done did 14, 9 years is a long time.
But
It
see,
goes fast, though.
but that's 9 years added on to the 40 years I've been doing this.
Right. But we talking about just the leadership part now.
Yeah.
So it's a different animal.
It
We
is.
said that from the beginning.
Yes.
I've been in a band. It wasn't the same as doing
Yeah, no
owning
doubt.
the band and running the band.
That's it right there.
It wasn't the same.
It's not the same. And I actually had to remind him of that too, because he's been on big stages.
Yeah.
Different, states and all of that.
Yeah.
He got to witness a lot of, what the leadership
Yeah, but
would be doing.
From the view of a band member.
Right.
So that's like the view of the band members had with you guys.
Right.
Like they looking and they say, okay, if the band get on those big stages, then they say that's success.
Mm-hmm.
But if the band is treading water a little bit, they don't think it's success though. They don't see that we making strides.
Got him. You said a mouthful.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why it's a whole different animal. And I'm sitting here just like him from experience. You know, I started. Well, I just started. I named Shady Groove, but they were playing in the backyard, and I went over there and joined the group. It wasn't they didn't have a name, and so I named the band, but my lifestyle back then was not conclusive to longevity. I went to the detention home. You know what I'm saying? I was about 15 years old. When I came back, they had a whole new band. You see what I'm saying? So that's even back then. Okay, we got a caller.
Hello.
Okay, caller. This is Man in D-Mir show. You got a comment or a question?
I don't have either one. You told me to call in at this time.
Is that Spice?
Yeah, that's Miss Spice.
Hey, Miss Spice. So we talking about go-go bands, leadership, and longevity. So what's your take on that?
I mean, the fact that I've been in go-go for so long, you get what I'm saying, and I'm never going to stop. Everybody got to accept the fact that go-go is actually changing and is evolving. I mean, some of it is evolving for the worse, some of it is not. In my opinion, I think that the TCBs, the UCBs, those bands, they're doing the best because those promoters, the way they put those shows together reminds me of back in the day when we were doing like Evans Grills triples and things like that. So that's why I think, within that world and that universe, it's like it's really awesome. But for our bands who've been here doing it for a long, long time, I mean, age, and you get to an age where, a lot of stuff you just not gonna do no more. You know what I'm saying? And longevity, yes, they have longevity, S's, Junkyard, Backyard, Northeast Rivers, all of them, they've been doing it forever. You get what I'm saying? Till we all see they still hit their same stuff. We've been hearing them hit since we were 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think that the problem with go-go is people who don't play in bands no more. They mad because they don't got no band, so they complain about everything. And another problem with go-go is you got people who sit on panels. All they do is talk negative about go-go. So they don't uplift it. They don't uplift it, huh?
Let me ask you this. Have you ever, we talked, because we basically talked about experience on leadership and longevity, what it takes, right? Have you ever experienced being managing the band or being owning the band?
Every band I ever been in, I owned it. Nasty.
Okay.
Just because Nasty Gang. When I started Nasty with Chuck Brown, yeah, that's my band. I created
that's
it.
Why I had you
Miss
call.
Spice Millennium, that's my band. I created it.
That's why I had
my band now, Live Wire Music.
Yeah.
I own it. It's mine. Everything that I touch down to the I Am a Queen and Go-Go movement, I own it.
Let me ask you something though. That's why I had you call in though, Miss Spice, because I know that you have been doing things in leadership, right? So let me ask you this:
Hmm.
what's been your experience with the leadership part of it? Because that's what we're talking about.
Well,
We ain't talking
right.
about
The
being in
bad
a
part
band.
about it is, to me, the leadership is that you got to have a strong team. That's it. That's all. You can't force it. See, everybody that's on my team, they want to be on my team. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we function. That's why our wheels keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to second guess my women. I don't have to second guess them men. I don't have to question their loyalty to me. It's there. So that's, to me, I pay attention to a lot of people in the game that's so called leaders. You're not a leader if you gotta force it. You get what I'm saying? So
Okay.
at the end of the day,
She's fortunate.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
You like,
understand what you said.
he said you fortunate. You like a unicorn. He said
You
you.
say I'm a unicorn.
Yeah, that a unicorn in the sense, metaphorically speaking, that means it's not seen that much. It's very rare.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
have?
Well,
Did you have?
I've been around Google for a long time.
Did you?
And, being with Chuck Brown and sharing the stage with Little Benny, you get what I'm saying? It's, yeah.
Oh, I get it. I get it from the entertainment. We spoke earlier about it's so much talent in the DMV, so we don't question the talent. The talent is never the question, and it's not
Right.
and it's not bashing or nothing. We talking about experience and leadership. You know, the
But
experience.
see, that's what I'm saying. What I mean by when I say, to me, people who are leading their bands, a lot of them, they don't talk too much and they're not in the forefront. So you don't know. You get what I'm saying? So you got a lot of people that assume those first three letters mean, man.
Mhm.
So that's why a lot of people are those first three letters in go-go, because you or people assume that they're the leaders, but in reality, it's other people in the back leading them, and they probably don't even touch an instrument, but
Oh yeah,
they're the leaders.
we're not discussing um to debunk who's leadership and who bad leadership or nothing like that. That ain't what we talking about. We talking about your experience in that arena. That's all we talking about. We not talking about nobody, how good their leadership, how bad their leadership is. We talking about just your experience.
But she made one excellent,
Well,
excellent
I'm
point.
not speaking about nobody in particular either. I'm speaking on leadership.
Yeah.
So that's, you're asking me about leadership, and that's what I'm speaking upon. That is what I see. You
Okay.
get what I'm saying? That it's leadership. You get what I'm saying? A lot of the leaders don't are not at the forefront, but
Right.
so people assume who
Somebody.
they
Yeah.
think are the leader of the band. So again, those first three letters is me. So you got a lot of people running their mouth. So that's why it's a lot of janky stuff. But to
Right.
me, I think the leadership in go-go, because of where I sit,
Yeah.
I think it's awesome because I know a lot of leaders and I see what they do. You get what I'm saying? I see the longevity. I see the different avenues and channels that are being opened to different people in go-go. So, I mean, I see things maybe other people don't see. So, you know what I'm saying? I guess it's all about what circle you roll in. You get what I'm saying? Or what universe you decide to be around.
Right. She said she was going to compliment you on something you said that touched her. What was you talking about?
Oh, teamwork.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about the, being a good leader. I mean, you do need to be a good leader too, but I think without that teamwork, it doesn't go far. Or I put it this way, it makes it take longer to get where you're going. So she's excellent point about the teamwork.
Well, that's what
That's key. It really
Yeah.
is key.
Cause I know Miss Spice. I knew you add some good dialogue to the show. That's why I really wanted you to call in, cause you do have experience,
Okay. Mm,
and that's all we do.
okay.
That's all we do on Man in the Mirror. We just chop it up, and everybody got their own. Like you said, like you talk about assumption. Everybody got that, and they got their opinion. Everybody got one. But we talk about experience. If I ain't got experience, I can't talk about it. That's how I roll.
Me too.
If I say you to somebody who got it. If you talking about
Mm.
baking cakes, that ain't me. I don't know how to bake a cake. So I would have to send you to my wife or something.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for calling in, though.
Okay,
And,
y'all
and,
keep
and,
doing what
and
y'all doing.
anything you want to say before we close? Before you go?
Oh no, I mean y'all just keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all can tune into my podcast tomorrow. I'm off the chain with mine. And from six
Uh,
to eight, you can turn right into YouTube, and it is Taz Podcast. And me
okay.
and my ladies of I'm a Queen of Go Go movement will be there. So
Well,
Nice.
well, I'm gonna have
be
you.
good to yourself.
I'm gonna have you on Man in the Mirror too. Okay.
Okay,
All right then.
holla.
Holla. I always have good spiritual energy when I see her. We see each other. We don't see each other as much as we used to, but when I do see, I seen her like with that Five Sisters not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good time. Yeah, that's a nice little spot. Five Sisters. If you ever been there,
Mm.
old Yancey. Shout out to him and BJ and them and Butchie and them. They always show love when I come through there when they playing.
Mm.
It's a lot of love in Go Go too. So like you said, it's the experiences that trumps the trials.
Mm.
But did you key in on what she said, though? Look at her affiliation. Look at her association. Look at the people she know. That is go-go to me. It's about who you know. It's not necessarily about your experiences
Well, who you know is sometimes your experiences too.
it is.
It
is. I don't take anything from that.
Yeah, because I think I'm a people person, so like I don't care if you top of the food chain or you just part of the scenery. I'm gonna come in. If I come into a place, I'm gonna greet everybody.
That's you.
That's just who I am.
That's you.
Yeah. Everybody. That's what I say. Everybody not me. I ain't everybody else. Just try to be the best we can be. Just like we doing this conversation. We definitely had to reiterate. We definitely not talking about nobody.
Right.
We talking about our experiences.
Right.
And one thing you can't take from anyone is their own personal experience.
Right.
Now you can say I don't like what you said and all that and this and that. Man, come on. I don't care. Everybody got the right to say what they want. Everybody got the right to feel what they feel. Everybody got the right to have their own perceptions. That's life, and had to be crazy to try to take that away from a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One thing they'll never go back and say, "Oh, we're Buddhists." Nah, man, you can say what you want. You can even say what you want about me. I can't do nothing about that. Because what you think about me has absolutely nothing to do with me. It's what I think about me. And on that note, that's why I wanted you guys to come in here and talk about your experiences. Because I know, man, there's more than likely the experience of a leader in this genre. Man, they done went through some things. I'm telling you, I don't care who you are.
Well, it's another key thing that you said earlier about integrity. When you're up and coming, you don't always get offers that can accommodate your whole staff financially. And he and I we set aside budgets to cover because of our integrity. We cannot and will not let people work for free. If anything, the least we would do, and that's not often, we offer what we call stipends. Yeah. And that's still not a little bit.
Right.
But paying our staff is crucial and
it's
important
paramount.
to us.
Yeah.
It is.
Lisa, give you a good example. You, me, maybe when we did recreations and block parties did we ever look for money?
You were
It-
younger.
It
That was
What-
young.
we were young. We never even looked for it. Even when I got with EU when we played outside anywhere. I don't know about anybody else in the band. I really didn't even care. I knew we was outside. They don't
You were
not too
younger.
many people.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. I think that's what stands out the most.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, the same people that's in that same band right now, they're gonna want their money.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I have
different now.
experienced that, playing outside and they still want to get paid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm talking about, because we talking about leadership. We ain't talking about just being in the band.
Right.
And a lot of times,
Yeah.
Right.
comprehension is not always, everybody don't have it.
Right.
We talking about,
Yeah, but
and we talking about, and we mainly talking about when you're trying to establish.
Absolutely.
So we not talking about already. See, cause like if you go into a band and they already like Rare Essence, they established. Junkyard, they established. Backyard established. Them bands are established. And when you coming up, you get bands that get what I call their time in the sun. I've been a band like that. That we was hot. And other bands gonna be hot, and then they not. It happens. It's I haven't seen too many stick up there with them,
Right.
and I'm talking about a long time.
Right.
When Back and Northeast came, Go-Go needed that. It was like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Go-Go needed them two when they came through. You know what I'm saying? Go-Go was going
Would you
through.
say they needed it, or would you just
Well,
say it was a shift in the
it was
style?
it was, put it like this. I ain't gonna say Go-Go needed it, but it was timing. The timing was perfect for them to get in. Not to mention they were very talented. But the timing, because you get a lot of bands now that's very talented and don't get in.
yeah,
Am I right?
that's right.
So the timing was right for them to get to where they are today. And then we talk about longevity. If they can sit down and tell you about the things that they had to go through to keep going, we know for a fact. See, I talked to some people, who've been around when it started, certain things started, and most of the stories are the same. The stories are the same. What we talking about here in general, maybe a little different here and there, but in general, it's the same. And
So what would you say you got out of all of this? The fact that teamwork is important, integrity is
man,
important.
and this thing about it is, I got good friends. I got a small circle of good friends, but they good friends. They just don't do music. We tight. We real tight. But we don't do music. We don't hang together every day. But I know they love me. You know what I'm saying? And we've been friends. Most of us been friends since we was kids.
Did they find you in music?
But they don't do music.
I know, but did they find you there?
Nah, they didn't find me in music.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nah, we've been friends before music.
No, I think that's what she was asking.
Yeah.
Where
What are you getting out of what you're hearing from your caller and from us, your experience
well,
as far as, what would you tell the public?
I would tell everybody that count the cost before you start anything. Come in realistically. You do it for the love. You do it for the love. If you're doing it for a business, then you gonna have to go through some, yeah. But like I love what I do for a living, so I don't really have to work. That's how I love go-go. So getting on the stage part and entertaining, that trumps all the other stuff that I had to go through. I love to see when people having a good time, and I'm a part of the reason why they having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I love that part. But we talking about the rocks and the gravel and all that stuff before the plant, actually come out to be a rose. The stuff that the stem got to go through before it hit the sunlight. And that's a lot of times just dialogue. A lot of times people don't understand when you're in darkness going through, but you're pushing towards the light. That's how the stem is, right? They still got hope that one day they're gonna blossom and be a rose. So I mean, and it's very rare. Let me say this to you guys: it's very rare that you find somebody to see the same vision. That's a unicorn too. So I want to commend you.
Yeah. We do. Our partnership. I mean, yeah, we have battles.
Oh, yeah.
But the like-mindedness is incredible.
You know what I hear that you didn't say? This obvious. Nobody cross nobody.
No.
We done been through stuff. We disagree. Had disagreements, but nobody crossed nobody. See, that's the difference, and that's what's going on a lot. The crossing. Not you too, Brutus.
Yeah.
And that's what we having this for, because the goal, the hope is that we start to unite, and what she was talking about, her people pulling the same way. And I try to preach that with the band. Let's pull the same way. We might not agree on the music. We might not agree on this or whatever. Let's come to a compromise, because the goal is we want to crank. We want to play good music. We want to entertain.
That's the goal.
Yeah. We want to be one powerful unit. Yeah. And whatever it takes for us to do that, let's do it. Do it together. Pull the same way. Can you imagine if all of us was pulling the same way, where this genre would be at?
Yeah.
See, for a time, what people don't know is the mission when rap hit back in the days. They were all gun ho. We're gonna get this out. They were gun ho.
I think Go-Go was like that too.
Yeah, see,
in the beginning.
You have to.
I don't think we had the business part like they had. I'll be honest.
In the beginning, no, I think so. There's a lot of success, a lot of travel.
I don't think. I mean, talk about how rap. Like I believe, this is my own personal belief. I believe Go-Go in the best position it's been in to be worldwide accepted than it ever been because of social media. This is one of the genres that I always thought, and you probably agree too, that you got to grow up on it. And most people now are starting to grow up on it because they see it on social media. So they young now. Just think about in maybe 20, 25 years. They said, man, I grew up on that song. I heard that because it's on social media.
I think it helps. I don't know if it would be the reason. I think social media definitely helps because everybody puts everything on there.
Yeah.
There's nothing hidden anymore, but I don't know if it would be the.
I just believe that. I don't know. That's just my. I ain't saying it's a fact. I just said that's one of my belief systems that I believe that is in good hands because of social media.
But is it helping or hurting?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I just think people gonna be used to it more. It's gonna get more, publicity than it got. At one time, man, you understand, man. You had the EUs and the troubles, the travel, right? Back then. But that was it back then, right?
Yeah, it's it. That in those times, or not just those times. It's even right now, you have to have a string of believers. And when I say a string, I'm talking about the manager got to believe in what he's doing. The band's got to believe in what they're doing. The band leader got to believe. Everybody believe. When everybody carrying that belief, that gives you the energy to push forward through all those things. All of those things. EU, phone, all of these people, they had managers and promoters who believed that they could do the things that they done. So they put them in front of people for $5, $10 with it, until to the point where I believe we could take 5 of y'all and fill a whole Capitol Center up, or Washington Coliseum. They believed it, and they pushed it all over the city. Globe posters from Silver Springs all the way down to Martin Luther King Avenue. Yeah, and that's the kind of, when you do that, the money, it had its place, but they had to put that belief in action first.
Well, I like what Dre said when she talked about, you know, the unity part was most vital, right? And
that's kind of what he's saying too.
Yeah, they believed.
The belief.
Yeah, they believed together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this the part I was thinking about. See, I got all. I'm telling you, this is old time. Look, when you talking about the disposition of time, because when we were younger, you know, you talking about that time period, you know, and then now time period is different because like all us bought into go-go in this area when we was teenagers. I mean, it was teenagers in them go-go's. It wasn't no old people like right now. Mm-mm. It was teenagers. See, what we seeing now is people reliving some of their youth. That's all it is.
That's it.
We in there 50-something, 40-something years old. But back then, it was a whole place full of young teenagers. Mm-hmm. You barely seen somebody in there 30. You ain't seen nobody in no go-go 30 back then. Think about it. Huh?
Not much.
Yeah, I asked a question. So I was one of those youthful folks that listened to you. Do you feel that poor leadership, or based off of your experiences, do you feel like at the time go-go was like had this moment periods where it could take over well before hip-hop? Mm-hmm. But do you feel like the leadership in that genre kind of prevented from going into that next level?
That's Brian. That's our engineer. And Brian, you made a great point. That's what I was talking about. I said, I think we're in better position now because it was people in place that was not morally good. I don't know what other word to say. It was people in place that, you know.
That's a tricky one. Though,
it was,
there was some good ones too.
Man,
it was some
they
good
knew the
ones
business,
too.
but did they really push the whole genre?
Of course,
that's what.
they did.
Ain't that what you talking about?
They traveled, you know.
Who traveled?
Didn't Chuck Brown do
Chuck
in
did.
Japan, Trouble Funk.
Chuck did. I think Chuck had his own arena. You know what I'm saying? Because Chuck.
Well, somebody's got to lead him.
Yeah, no. Chuck had his own his own people. He had his own people. I don't know, you know, because Chuck was doing things like that before he was deemed go-go.
Chuck was. He was a top 40 band.
See?
that found that niche.
Right.
You mean the Soul Searchers? Coming from the Soul Searchers?
From Soul Searchers.
Soul Searchers was his own band.
The Lost and even the band before that.
Yeah.
Those guys, but and then that sound, because good business person, and Chuck is business. He had business people around him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had his own people.
People had business people say, you need to do.
You
this.
got something, yeah.
You need to take what you got right there, fine tune it into this sound, that they call in go-go. And next thing you know, because I watched the whole thing, you know, too, from Chuck opening up for a lot of the bands that you talked about. He was opening for these, you know. Then years later,
Excuse me.
years later, he didn't even need them on the stage,
Right.
on the same show, and still pull the same amount of people because there was a string of people who believed in what he was doing and was
Right.
going to push it.
So answer his question.
What's that?
He said, "Do
Oh.
you think that people who was in leadership back then, right,
Mhm.
when Go-Go started,
Yeah.
prevented Go-Go from blowing up?"
I wouldn't say prevented. I would say, and you could call it prevented, they weren't as educated as they needed to be to take it to the next level.
Whereas though rap had people who were educated, right?
Yeah, they ran up on them.
Thanks.
They definitely ran up on them. They definitely ran up on them. You know, I've seen some of the people that were heading these things up and that's taking it to that took it as far as it could go. But then there was that line. Okay, what's the next level to go from Virgin Records to even you know, yeah, even international. How you got to have that education to have that sustainability.
Okay.
Let me try to even further expand the question
Uh-huh.
let me further expand the question because I had a conversation many years ago, and with someone, and he kind of got the sense like, because I felt like Go-Go was just a regional music,
Right.
and I felt like, asking him that question, he's like, again, do you think Go-Go can expand? It's like, oh, it's happening now. It's already there. And mind you, there have been songs that had top 10 hits and with Go-Go, either a Go-Go sound or the actual group that made those.
Right.
I felt like you get these, I wouldn't say a wave, you just get this little notice. Sort of like a big notice, like, hey, here's a Go-Go song. Like Anne-Marie when she did, One Thing, or the remix of, that song, that everyone loved, and things like that.
Angie Stone.
Yeah, Angie Stone and things like that. So you get these little big notices, but for a genre to be up there, to be like everyone's celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop, which was just last year and still trying to celebrate it still.
Right.
But then again, with Go-Go, you figured it's like, well, Go-Go was a lot longer than hip hop. We somehow hip hop merged in with rap music and all that stuff, so it became something. But Go-Go's been around a lot longer.
Yeah.
It's just that the fact that it gets these noticeable things and then it just fades
What
away.
you talking about as a genre has it clicked?
Yeah, because like I said, there was a moment in time where it felt like it could have been, when Chuck Brown was really strong, and a lot of Go-Go bands that I was hearing felt like it's like, okay, these guys should be in top 10, whatever, but you don't see them here. I mean, even in the 80s and 90s, you had, MTV and BET with their music videos kind of helped them a little bit, but then again, still didn't go at that level. And I felt like, again, the question would be is it because whoever was running that group or running the industry itself wasn't allowing Go-Go to get outside of this region?
Yeah, I can tell you that.
Good question.
Yeah, what happens is the business here is different from the business taking in that and the people that handle the business on this end when they putting certain deals on the table that would actually take them to the next level, because those deals would cause them to either not be where they are or lose, because you had some deals. Well, actually, you had some deals on a national level that didn't go through because because of things like they wanted to set the group on the table until they was ready, and that's not how Go-Go's built. Big Go-Go keeps going. You're not gonna set us on the table until you ready for to
What you mean
go
by
outside.
sitting on the table? Because people might not understand that term.
You know, put us in waiting. It's like, okay, I gotta deal with it was certain okay, you asking for one. They had a deal that they could have had with and to go national, but they were gonna put them on the tables, like, they were gonna like set them, just
Make 'em wait, you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Set them on the side here. Wait till this. We gonna make this run with one of the bigger artists first. Then you're next. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing that.
Well, if I may,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think your caller, again, made a good point. You know, they keep having these panels of people. It's the same people, pushing the same people.
Same agenda, yeah.
Yeah, and they even tell, these panels are even have these workshops to tell you what you need to do to make it successful. But they don't even look at anybody but those same people. I don't see any bigger leadership in this. I don't.
Like
I
you
don't.
talk, see, like for example, when you talk, and it's kind of like what you're saying and his questions, right? When you had rap, you know, you had your man build he built a powerhouse. He you know what I'm talking about.
Russell?
Yeah, Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Russell built something that you can say, okay, that's a genre that they coming up with. You know what I'm saying? This different, but it's a genre. So he built something that was stable and visual. People could just say that's rap music. You know what I'm saying? Like do Go-Go have a one company that you can filter Go-Go through?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what he did.
A major record label.
A major
or
record label
something.
that's
Right.
theirs.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Like when he did that was a label, a major he made it a major record label for rap.
It was him.
You understand what I'm
you got
saying?
Diddy. You got several of them.
I know, but their labels be for the genre. You come with what I'm saying? Like we don't have a label.
We did. It's gone.
I don't know about it. I'm just
and
saying.
I think that's the whole point.
It was she was saying.
What he's saying, what she's
what-
saying,
and
and
what
what
he's
he's
saying.
saying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
we don't
So-
have that. We don't have that leadership anymore. We don't have that big person that can.
Make it a genre. So like
Well, it is a genre.
yeah, but I'm
already.
just saying, but noticeable one, and respected one. You understand what I'm saying? He had a violent. The first question was a very important question. He said, "Was it some people preventing it?" Man, this is the truth. Like we saying stuff that most people won't say. Right now, we saying things that most people won't say. It's obvious that somebody was preventing it. That was in leadership. I don't care if they meant to do it or not meant to do it. They was preventing. They didn't make it happen. Because timing is everything. When Chuck was hot and EU in trouble and Essence was Body Moves came out, all that was a good time. It was a good time. But was it somebody with experience or yeah, like you said, was it somebody there
In education,
who could take? Because timing is everything.
You had 3 labels that came from out here that could have probably skyrocketed. From that was carrying Go-Go. You had TTD or TED. You had-
TTED.
Yeah, TTED. You had Liaison, and you had, and even though they were based in New York, you had Sugar Hill. They were all pushing. They had some go-go, and they had a, but somehow, some way, they had that little run that they had.
And that's what another thing Brian was talking about.
So Liaison actually is still in existence, and they could be the ones to carry the torch for the genre. Then comes the actual bands, the business model, whether they trust them to invest in them, and I think that's the struggle point now.
Right.
That's that belief
I think
thing I was
that's-
talking about.
I think that's the
Well,
struggle
that
point
goes
now.
back to is it a culture of no integrity? Because if people don't trust you, they ain't gonna want to put
I
it.
don't know if it's lack of integrity or lack of wanting to learn.
Well, like for example, certain things have stigmas on it, right? You got certain drugs got stigmas on it. You got certain neighborhoods got stigma on it, right? Because of the activity. Do you think that go-go has a stigma?
Not anymore. I think at one time
Okay.
it did. I don't think so now. And I test it out a lot, because I have a oldies but goodies page on Facebook.
Okay.
And these people are from all over, all states, all, out of the country. And I test, sometimes I throw a little go-go in there.
So we
I think
not
they
talking about
embrace it.
we not talking about everybody and everything is wrong and wrong. It's not, because I say this is a good time,
But do we embrace each other?
and that's what we
That's
That's
what I
what we
think
need
the
to do.
problem, and I think that's why, like you said, rap, hip hop, it has sustainability because they embrace each other. I've been binge watching Love and Hip Hop, and just to watch all of the connections, like they're close. They're
Right.
close knit. It's not the women compete more, but it's not a lot of competition. They support each other.
right,
That's what I don't see.
and that's what that
It's
and that-
competitive, but in a negative way.
and that's why we have to have these conversations. I don't think it's no bad dialogue when you talking. When you're trying to come up with solutions.
Yes.
We're not talking about the problem. We know what the problem is a lot of times. I call that barbershop talk. Barbershop talk, you just talk about the problem. So one of the main things that I got out of the question you asked me, I got out of this, one of the main things is unity. About everything we heard tonight is some sincere unity that need to be, because like we talking about leadership and longevity. If you have unity, then you're gonna have longevity. Now everything falls in the gumbo of unity, loyalty, respect, and all unity,
Teamwork.
teamwork. Everything fall under unity. I mean, in unity.
Okay, so again, expand the
Brian.
question again. So you're saying about unity and stuff like that. So, and I know from time to time you do mention about certain newer groups wanting to, be part of this culture and all this stuff. Are you, not you specifically, but just you and any other, original OGs of go-go embracing the new talent? Because I've been hearing a lot of beef between the old school and a new school go-go because of the sense, mind you, it is a lot of chatter and talk and all that stuff, but would you be willing to embrace the new style of go-go
Yeah,
if
most
willingly?
Most definitely. I think we had some, interactions with my band. We done played with some bounce beat bands before. I had members in my band that strictly was bounce beat people, and they wanted to play some pockets and sockets, but it gave us a different dynamic. I'm talking about some keyboard players. There was bounce beat guys, you know what I'm saying? and it gave us a different sound and a different dynamic. So I embrace, that the talent can work together. Like I'm getting ready to do one show for my birthday. I was telling you coming up in September, and I got a guy that's in the band, and he played bounce beat most of the time. He's a young guy, so it's gonna bring a different dynamic. I think we can coexist together, and I think we, it goes back to this though, man. The teacher got to be willing to teach, and the student got to be willing to learn. That's the bottom line. If one ain't willing to teach and one ain't willing to learn, it ain't gonna work. We gotta be pulled the same way.
Well, with my experience, it's the learning part that's the problem. Just my experience, not everybody's experience.
We only talking about our experience.
Because when you begin to teach, it's like, why I gotta go through, why I gotta do all that, because that's how you get there. Why we gotta go through a whole? Why do we have to go through a whole verse change, beginning to ending, before we get to the boom, boom, boom? Why we gotta do all that? They want to get straight to it. With my experience,
and we talked about that from the beginning, y'all. We talked about that from our experience. The majority is nobody wants to pull the same way. It's been like that for a while with my experience. I don't know, everybody don't have that experience, but for me, it's been that way.
The bounce beat is good. Classic go-go is good, and they all can actually play.
We did.
I was getting ready to get there.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was getting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it could actually coexist, work, and actually you actually have a certain sound when you pull those things together. It's a good sound. And as good as it is, but if you don't have 20 people to say they agree that they like it, they have to say it. They don't have to stand behind a tree and
right.
And I'm cool with that, but I ain't. It just got to be seen, because that's how it is in this culture right now.
And like you said, you guys did it before. You have experience that you reach across the aisle and experience working together.
Yeah. I mean, and got to her because she pulled me into it. I was, because that's where my head, I was coming from old school, and that's all because before go-go even, and I wasn't really playing anything else. I wasn't playing anything else. When I started playing music, I stopped playing go-go. So, helping to build this thing to what it was until it's becoming what it is now. The thing is that I'm always looking for this culture, the music, to grow up. And when I say grow up, it start having structure all the way through, structure that made sense and really, where you can, you're touching all the way across the board with.
Well, so I was going to say the connection, trying to build that bridge was with a song, mixing, old school with bounce beat, because bounce beat is really popular. And it worked. It actually worked.
Okay, you put a song together like that.
I think if we do more of that, and maybe some have, I'm not discrediting anyone, but if we do more of that, that would be advantageous. Plus, your music and your delivery, in order to reach a broader audience, has to have structure. whether you're targeting a younger audience or older audience. One thing you need is structure with your music, whether you're gigging or recording.
So now you getting into the band dynamics and stuff like that. But we talking about that leadership and that
But
long.
that's how you lead.
Okay, that's
You
part of
kinda-
it. Yeah.
You have to have some kind of idea of what you're trying to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
and
yeah.
who you're trying to reach.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, as a suggestion, in order to bridge the two together, that's one method in doing it.
You think we ever get to a point where we have a old school and new school crowd? I mean, I know we done had shows where the old school and new school played together. You know what I'm saying? But do you think that the embracing of all the music would be universal?
That's where you're. That's audience driven.
Right. And
They have to make up.
they
their-
have to make up their mind.
about that.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out a question because, we talking about both dynamics because it's the same genre.
Yeah,
Just
because
go-
you going back to if you're going back to leadership and connect that to the question you were saying, because the leadership has to have the mind to actually try those things, create those things, and then get the if they have a band, get them to buy into it, because you don't need a band. You just need the studio.
Yeah,
And you can put all that, you bring all that together and create what you got to do and try to get it out there. But then there's the audience.
So what would you say to you guys? What would you say to someone who's trying to start their own band right now? What would you guys say to that person?
Have some money. Money. You need some money. And then there are avenues in order to hire instead of hiring people within that same circle. Interviews, auditions. It's really a checklist, but I would say definitely have a budget.
Well, how would
Set
you
up.
the same question to you? What would you tell that person?
Have a plan. Have a plan. And I mean, a plan A to be executed. It's like, give you an example. My plan, once it started rolling, okay, record first. Get your music, record first, have your music there, so when you start making your moves, you can put it, you could get it to anybody. Anybody, anywhere. That was my plan.
And then if you have people who flip-floppy or wish-washy, once you got your music out there, you can hire people to play the music.
Yeah, you can do that. And I'm actually that played a part in the sustainability of the 9 years she just spoke of.
Yeah.
Because before Haru was a band, it was a recording. We actually put the name to the recording.
Yeah.
We had already recorded, and then she was smart enough, business savvy enough before we spend all this money or trying to pay bands in the venues.
Yeah.
Let's record video, let the people see nationwide, and we did the video.
Okay.
And then
Well, I ain't seen the video. I want to see the video. I want to get the
you
record.
ain't seen the
What?
video.
I haven't. I ain't seen. I want to see it. I want
You
to get.
just talked about Facebook, and if you
I haven't seen it. I ain't. Have you seen? You ain't seen all my videos, have you? Come on, let's be honest.
okay, all right,
Check.
yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, yes. That's the first thing we recorded.
Well, let's say from this point on we gonna make it a point to check each other's stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the point is that going back to your question, the plan, because I've seen so many that started out the same time we did without a plan, and it was obvious you didn't have a plan. You figure, okay, I am. Wait a minute, I'm well known. Name this person. I got a band. Everybody gonna come and see us. No plan. No plan of what, and I've even actually sat down with some, man, do this first. Mm-mm. There was no plan. If you don't have a plan in place, you know, if that's the old saying: if you fail to plan, the plan will fail.
Yeah. On that note, like you know, you got a lot of experience at this table. We did a parking and planning, parking and recreation panel for GoGo. We talking about the old school mixing with the new school. So the panel was this gentleman right here, Ula Tony. We had Doc Spencer from Air Raid. We had Kiwi Campbell, the manager of Proper Utensils, and he promote. And then we had the young guy, right, from the one band, you know, Damo, right? And that, you know, that was a good experience. And the reaction band played at the event. Now we talking about people who probably don't have as much information about GoGo as we do, who put on this event. It was a Black History thing, you know. And the point I'm bringing this up is because I think that's something that should be done more. Because reaching people who don't really go to go-go's, because that's what rap did. Rappers started reaching people who didn't even listen to no rap music at one time.
But there are people that can do it and have done it, but it's a clique. I'm telling you, it's a clique. It's only certain ones that get invited, certain ones that's a part of.
But that's that unity thing again.
Well, it's a lack of.
Lack of it. Y'all hear that? And we stressing it, and we want to be a part of, you know, reach across the aisle and like he
talent
said, you
isn't
have to
just
have the
music.
band.
Talent isn't just music.
Yeah.
It can be with leadership. It can be with the management side of it. It's probably a lot of people out here that.
Or maybe we can get
Very
together
good.
and get
Yeah.
a radio label for GoGo. Maybe we can.
A label?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, for GoGo.
We have one, and we're gonna.
And it
build
don't matter
on
to me.
it.
It don't matter who do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I love this music, and somebody should do it. I mean, I don't know if I got the time to do it.
Money.
Yeah.
Money, man. Need money.
But I wouldn't mind being a part of it, you know.
Yeah. And let's be funny. I think you just made Black history. It's the first time I've ever seen or been on in a talk show or that last 2 hours.
Oh yeah. We do 2 hours here.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Yeah. We do 2 hours, but we only do this once a month. But we do it 2 hours.
But the thing is, you don't know it's 2 hours passing because you're so engaged and your topic was good enough to actually for it to last as long and not become redundant. You know, it kept.
Well, we get good guests too. We get good guests like you guys, and we want to thank you for coming out. And we definitely want you back on here when I have some of my other hosts. I have 2 other hosts.
I would love it.
Yeah, so
I would love it.
So we have a lot of fun on here, but we have some. This is not a go-go platform. This is actually the first show. Since 2008, I've been doing this show. I started in my living room. It wasn't even a show. It was just a man's rap.
A blog.
Nah, it was a man's rap. Like it's a self-help group. Men used to come in the house and we talk about different stuff.
That's good stuff.
And we eat. And then if somebody start to blaming other people or we we feel they was welling and started to line.
Coming in hunting.
I had this big mirror, right? So we used to send them to the mirror to get themselves some personal information. Don't talk about nobody else but yourself. Because everything, I know today, everything starts with me, end with me. If I'm a part of the solution, I'm part of the problem. There's no gray area in this. So we talking about the leadership and we talking about what we can do, And I know you guys are game to do whatever you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing something now. Because this dialogue is forever. We got this on YouTube. We got it on Facebook. Facebook can remove it, but YouTube is going to be forever. It's going to be forever. And,
I want to be a part of the solution.
And you are.
I always pitched for that.
You are. You took your time to come out here and do the 2 hours. And you guys, it's great. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you asking us to come on. Really,
Miss Dre and the world famous Ula Tony. Oh no, man, you gotta get your flowers too, man. Just like you though, Miss Dre, you gotta get your flowers. You came in and elevated what they were doing, and came in with the insight. That's a gift.
I'm big on that.
She brought the name that hadn't been.
Okay,
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's something that me and Brian do. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
that's our thing.
Yeah,
you just keep on going.
The name Ula was actually gone into the men. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, she brought it back to life. Brought it back. Gave
But
it life.
she
put
knew
it
that
on the forefront.
She knew that was good marketing. Yeah. Somebody who already had a staple. And see, and here's another piece. I ain't never heard nothing bad about your character. See, that played a big part too.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah. So
That's me.
I guess this is at the end of the show. We'll be back here next month. The last Thursday of each month we're here, unless something come up and we have to do like we did this week and do a week before.
Okay.
But that's life, and that's what we're talking about too. Also, to sum everything up, we're talking about being able to adjust and do the right thing in spite of. And
All right.
yeah. So we will thank our guests once again.
Thanks for having us.
And I'll say the band name one more time because people
Go ahead.
not get that name right.
Go on, let them know.
Haru. Horu. Haru. Like the eye of Haru. And what does it mean, Tony? And we can finish it.
It derives from the ancient Kemet. Ancient Kemet, and it means vision. It just strictly means vision. That vision that you and I, that third eye, you and I, the things that you and I could be looking at the same thing, but that third eye, you see something else now. Yeah,
that's
so
deep.
yeah. So
Okay.
and
I'm gonna say it right from now on, cause I miss, cause
it's that third eye.
I thought her name was Haru. I ain't gonna lie, I got called the Space Maid. That's me. I thought her name was Haru. So is because remember I told you that day. I said, "Who is Dre? Is that her husband?" All right, that's a whole nother story. Hey, look, we out here, man in the
Thank
mirror.
you so much.
Next Thursday,
All
thank
right.
you guys.
All right.
Next last Thursday of next month, we got another Dynamite show waiting for you. But right now, we out. And little slave rhythm at the end.